Cool, my name is Pontus, and as you were told, this is the first time actually on this stage and actually at this event. And this is a very convenient event for me because I live like less than 10 kilometers that way, so I can take my bicycle coming here. Very sweet. I work as a Mac success lead at Techstep, and that is a role where I kind of work a lot together with Apple, and we are trying to make get it to work really well for companies start using Macs in their organizations. And I don't work with kind of the tech stuff that you guys do. I work with the fun stuff, like the economy and the processes and procurement. Everyone loves procurement. So those are the things I kind of focus on. And then, yeah, we go to meet with companies, usually kind of these Windows houses that have been using Windows for decades. And we try to explain to them how to run with Macs in their organization. And I usually hear the same thing. They kind of talk about, well, we can't use Macs because they are too expensive. And then I have to go into the explaining, well, that's not really true. You can't look at the price tag. You need to look at the total cost of ownership. And you need to kind of consider that these puppies, they have quite a lot of value after kind of when you're done with them, the residual value of a machine. So after like 3 years, there's still 25–30% of the original value sitting in this hardware, and in most hardware, especially Apple hardware. And that's kind of what we need to convince the companies about. And the best way to do that is to use lifecycle management. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today. And we will do a little bit of demo how we at Techstep handle lifecycle management of devices. Cool. So most of you have probably never heard of Techstep before. So I'm just going to give a quick intro to that. One slide. We are very focused on mobile technology. It's we handle both the hardware side of things. So that could be rugged devices, and it could be office equipment, like iPads and phones and Macs, obviously. When we say mobile technology, we include Macs in that. We exclude Windows devices. We handle a software that's kind of related to it as well, both the management of devices and also kind of building custom software that customers might need. And we have our own MDM as well. And we have our Lifecycle portal that we'll show in a few minutes as well. And all of that, we kind of bring it together with our consultants and expertise to make that really work for our customers, to make kind of some magic mobile solutions. We are based in Oslo, or we have our headquarters in Oslo, and then I have 250 colleagues in primarily Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and Poland. We have, well, quite a lot of big brands as customers, like the Volvos and Equinors and so on. So mainly in the Nordic region, but we have partners reselling our services and products in the rest of Europe as well. And for instance, if you go out here, you grab the tram outside, and you don't pay for your ticket. Shame on you. But if the ticket inspector comes along and finds out, they will bring up their mobile device that we have provided them with. They will have a solution on that device to print the ticket for you, or a control fee, and have a little printer as well to give you a piece of paper. So that's kind of also a mobile solution that we build, and that will cost you 1,500 Swedish crowns. And if you go to Stockholm, it will be the same thing there. We have a lot of partners. I mentioned Apple already. In Norway, we are a top-level partner with Apple, so we work a lot with them. We have worked with Samsung as well. We're a gold partner with Google. And then we have software suppliers like Jamf, for instance, our friends at Jamf, but also Omnis and Ivanti, and many more. So we're not doing everything ourselves. Gartner had a Magic Quadrant before as well, up until 2023. that was called Managed Mobility Services, and we were really proud because we were the only Nordic company on that Magic Quadrant, sitting there as a challenger. 250 people, it's quite impressive, I think. The others were like Vodafone and Orange and so on. Unfortunately, they're just doing a market watch of that space nowadays, so it's not the Magic Quadrant anymore. We have a lot of consultants, I mentioned, certified in all these different platforms. Some of the best consultants in the Nordics, I would say. A couple of them are here today, so if you have any kind of tricky questions, we can go and chase them. And then we manage a lot of devices for our customers as well. 3 million devices. And those are kind of different devices and on different platforms. Some of them are obviously Macs as well. So we're quite clued up on the management of devices. You might have seen we have a booth out here as well. So please drop by, have a chat with us, and where we can find also our consultant colleagues if we want to have more technical things. I'm happy to talk procurement any day. We have a contest going on as well. There is a QR code that you can scan, and we have a couple of 2 sets of AirPods and 5 of these lovely banana Lego dudes that are actually a flashlight as well. So it's really good. My kids were really, really unhappy that I would bring these and give it to adults, but that's the way it is. We'll announce the winner on Friday via SMS or email, whatever kind of you're giving us. Right, moving on. So, as I said, I meet quite a lot of organizations, and they have kind of similar challenges. And I'll have an example that I'm kind of using because I know the IT manager really well. It's a friend from university, and he was promoted to that role in the spring this year. And he said, well, hardware is giving me a proper headache. So when he got that job, he was given a big fat spreadsheet with all the devices. We were told these are all the devices in the organization. And that was obviously not up to date. They had a form where employees could go in. They had standardized on a few different Macs, a few different Windows, and some different phones, etc. And then they could get orders, or employees could put in an order that would come through the IT team. They will have a look in stock and see, do we actually have anything? Usually they don't. So then they would go out and order those items, get it back, and they would put them onto the spreadsheet. And then they will never look at that spreadsheet again. Something like that. Not really true, because they did these kind of roundups once in a while as well. Go out and try to find out in an organization, what hardware do we have out there? Can we find it? Can we pull it back? Can we get rid of some, get it off the books? That was obviously a lot of work, sending out emails to managers, users, asking them, where is this stuff? And then they got some of it back, but not all. And he kind of felt, yeah, I don't have control over this. I'm not sure what's going on with all these things. And yeah, there are so many devices that never show up again. So Gartner has this term there for these type of devices. They're called ghosted devices. They're just kind of gone. They're not stolen. They're not reported as stolen. They just as never returned. They're not going back into circulation. So that's they estimate. This is a global figure, obviously, but 30% of IT equipment, like phones and computers, never kind of come back. So 30%. That's quite a lot. If we take all the phones and all the computers in this room, put it in a pile, take 30%, put it to the side, that'll be a big-ass pile. So that's not great, obviously. Something else he felt as well was that people kind of buy a new device too often. He couldn't really tell, but he had this gut feeling that people were ordering too many devices. And yeah, he couldn't really do anything. He looked at that spreadsheet, but it didn't help him. And then he didn't really know about this thing, about the residual value of these things, that they actually hold a lot of value at usually the end of a life within an organization. And that's not money to be locked up in someone's drawer. You don't want a manager somewhere hoarding 8 machines just because you might need them. That's not good for business, it's not good for an environment, right? So don't lock up money like that. Another issue we had as well was when it came to budgeting, because we had no clue who would order something. So basically just had a standing figure running month by month, saying, yeah, this is probably the hardware budget. So I got to start using device lifecycle management and kind of start getting things in control. First thing, how long should devices be used for? Just kind of say, let's set up a policy. And they decided on, yep, we'll have a policy of 2 years for mobile devices, then we'll replace them. Computers, we run them for 4 years, and then we'll replace them. So that's something put into the system. That's kind of a rule saying you're running them for 2 years and 4 years. And you can communicate to the organization as well that don't expect to replace your device too often. This is the new rule, basically. We set up a web shop so the users can log in and click into the web shop and see what devices are available, and then they can order a device. But if they have still kind of an active device that haven't expired yet, then that web shop is locked, then they can't order anything. So you can't do any of these kind of premature orders. You know that someone needs to use the device for the full life cycle before you get the new one. And when you order in the web shop as well, that device will be tagged directly to the person who ordered it, and it will be shipped straight to the person as well. And then it will go into Apple Business Manager, it will enroll properly, and you get all your apps, etc. It's really convenient. And then when you kind of use that device, and after 2 years, well, 30 days before the 2 years, the user will get an email saying, hey, now it's the end of the life cycle. Now it's time to order a new device. So then we unlock the web shop for them, and they can go in and they order a new device, getting that shipped to them, and they get a box as well, and they put the old device back into that box, send it back to us. We wipe it, give them wipe certificate, and make sure that the kind of residual value is pulled out of that device, given back to the company. Another thing was that they had issues where users would break their screen or something on their phone. Usually they just order a new device. So instead, now they can go in and there is a repair function. So you can click there, you get a box sent to you, you put your device in there, send it over, send it back, and you get that repaired and returned to you again, which obviously saves quite a lot of money, and it's also very good for the environment. Instead of sending that recycling, if you're reusing your device, it's like 20 times the emission that you save doing that. So, oops, one too many. So now my friend is in kind of control. He knows what's out there. He knows the devices who they're assigned to. We'll show you as well that you can kind of see that when it's time for something to be returned, he can see if something hasn't been returned by someone, and then he knows who he's supposed to go and chase to get that device sent back. So you can chase those ghosted devices. And it doesn't return things then in bulk and kind of save it up. It's you don't kind of lose the residual value by keeping it in a drawer somewhere. Instead, the employees just kind of returning devices on a monthly basis. You unlock that residual value every month. And you can use that then, obviously, for your new IT equipment instead. So by using proper lifecycle management of devices, then that will save quite a lot of money, and it's also good for the environment and kind of gives you the control that you want. And the good thing is that the users does most of the work actually, so it's quite convenient. There are different ways of doing this, and Martin now will show you just how we kind of have done it at Techstep. So we're gonna jump and close the presentation. No, wrong screen. Not that way.
That way.
There we go, right? Oh yeah, that will be fun to control now. We'll see if we manage it. Right, so this is the dashboard for an administrator, an item administrator, to log in and see what's going on. And as I said, it's based on policies. So you need to have a policy in the bottom saying, yeah, mobile device, that should live for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever you like. Same for computers or iPads. It could be different for different teams or different countries, so how you want to set it up. But the life cycle of a device will be that, yeah, you order it and then you kind of start the clock on that device and it will start running. Then something might happen to that device over those 2, 3, 4 years. So then you will want to send it to repair. It might be that you leave the organization, then that needs to be reassigned. Have a process where when someone is offboarded, how to handle that. And then in the end, said you want to return it to the either into stock or send back to give it a second life. So in this view, if you're an administrator, you can go in and see that, all right, how many devices or life cycles do I have ongoing? It kind of follows there, so I can see it's 409 in use, 10 available, so those are the ones that are sitting in my storeroom. Right now I don't have anyone in repair. I can see that 2 are about to expire, so there will be people who are ordering something soon. And then I can see also how many have expired that I need maybe to chase because they haven't sent it in yet. And I can see the returned. There's also a process if you want the users to be able to buy out the devices. It's quite common as well. And there's loads of other good things there. Right, so as an IT administrator, let's say we have a new person who starts in the organization, and I want to assign them some new kit. That will not let them go into the web shop. We'll assign them something we have in store. So then I would just go and have a look at the available devices. Hopefully it's the same that actually sits in a cupboard. And then I would pick devices like maybe we have the iPhone 16 there and a MacBook Air. Sounds good. And I can see how many days are left on the life cycle of those devices. And then I can just assign them to in this case, I think we said Alex. Can't remember. Yeah, might be. There we go. So now I can assign and set that to Alex. It can also be shared units. So it could be that you want to assign units to a team. That's very common when it comes to rugged devices, frontline worker devices, etc. Then we have the self-service bit as well. So we'll go down to the bottom here and switch to my page. So as a user or an employee, I can go in and see what are my devices that are assigned to me and how long do I kind of need to keep running them for before I get the new one. Now, this is Mr. Tom Hanks. He has a lot of devices, actually. And he has a couple of iPhones and a couple of MacBooks. Since some of them have ended here, you see the green buttons to the left. They have been unlocked, so he could go into the web shop and order new devices. If the life cycle hasn't reached the end, those will not be able to, or not be there. So then you can't order new kit, basically. And in here, if there are issues, Tom Hanks could go in and start a repair work. And then when it's time to return device, as I said, he will get an email and he will go in here and start the return flow as well. I'm going too fast now, I guess. Sorry, Martin. Right. We can jump back again to the admin view. We're going to wrap it up in here. So There are a few more things. We can obviously go in and see all the assets. So I can see all the assets in my organization. I can see who they belong to. I can filter on different types of devices, so I can find all the Macs there if I go into the category. See, we have laptops. We have lots of MacBooks. We have a couple of Dells, and I can see who they're assigned to and how much time is kind of left on them. I can also go in and see orders. We can just expand that one. We can see the orders that are coming through the web shop. I can see repairs that are being carried out, returns, subscriptions as well. That's primarily in Norway right now because we don't have that many Swedish phone carriers that allow us to work with them in that way. And then we have also an insight section. So here I can go in as administration. I can see how many life cycles will be ending in the coming months here. And based on that as well, I can get a cost forecast and I can see, right, what is my what should I expect to spend on IT equipment for the next 6 months as well, which is quite convenient. So I will not dive in any deeper into the portal. Martin and I are out here if you want to have a look, ask any kind of questions around how it works, how you integrate with different systems, etc. And yeah, this can be done in different ways, but don't forget, there is a lot of values sitting in these machines. They want to have a second life. They should have a second life. That's good. You save money. It's good for the environment. I know Apple and Samsung, they really want devices back in the end of the day so they can pull it apart and use those parts for new devices. So it's quite important. So with that, thank you very much. Please come out and meet us in the booth. And you obviously want to take part in the competition for the banana dudes and maybe some AirPods as well. Second generation, I'm afraid, but that's the way it is. Thank you very much.